Well, welcome back to this series in my Outer Edge series. I had said that I was going to try to make some progress through trade, but that has proven to be difficult because certain things I need, like iron, are not for sale, and other things I need are too expensive. So I'm going to take a gamble and head on to another world in this system. It's a gamble because I'm under-equipped. I run across predators, but I needed to record because I've made an error in the past of not recording my first descent to... Oh, there's a world across there. I wonder... Okay, I've spotted that one before. It's just over the horizon. I have not recorded in the past. Most notably, I didn't record my first ascent to Kaina Dren, and now I can't find the portal monolith that I found there 45 seconds after landing. So I need to record my first descents to these worlds, and I need to try and grab their names as I do. That's what I'm doing here. I'm scanning around a bit to make sure I have a lay of the land, where these worlds are in relation to one another. And the one I'm going to try to go for is the one that appeared to have a bit of water. By the way, I settled on Ikibi as the name for the world I started out on. And if I need to in the future, I can use Ikibi as a suffix for a world of that sort, with the features and the traits that we talked about while I was there. So I think this might be the one I was looking at. Can't zoom in from here. I believe it was, and I actually could see it out of the port. I should have taken a screenshot of this, or at least a video of this back at the station. You could see it right out of the portal. I don't know if that's going to change or not in the trading bay. At a glance, it looks like there's a lot of water there, but that's never a sure thing. Could be green sand. The water could be made of acid. We really don't know till we get down there, but I'm going to give it a try. Because if it is water, islands give me, I don't know. In a lot of ways, an island planet is harder to deal with. But so far, I've found the atmosphere more forgiving on the handful of island worlds I've reached. I also need to mine iron badly, and to do that without being bothered by sentinels, I really should be underwater. So, we're going to head towards the pole. Take one more quick look around and make sure there's nothing else we can orient ourselves towards. This is here. And that looks like it might have water as well. Maybe we'll do that one next time. Station is here, and behind it is this guy, Ikibi. Others in the system. That's the one. Rumazukayam. If I were naming it minimally, I would probably at this point name it Rumazukayam. But we're going to take a look and see what else it has to reveal to us about its nature first. We're going to head towards the North Pole, or at least the pole that we can see here. And cross our fingers. Always tricky getting lined up. Alright, let's do it. It's relatively close, which is nice. Yeah, I mean, look how sporadic those landmass features look. I'll be curious to see how that translates to the situation on the ground. Aha, yes. Okay. Slow it down. And indeed, there watery bodies. Pretty intense terrain. I don't see much vegetation at all. Oh wow, okay. Tall islands. Looks like it could be a little intense on the surface, just going by the lack of vegetation. I mean, there are these tall trees here, but there are no grasses. Hard to say how many animals there will be. Tall shadows. Which reminds me of, what was that world called? One from the other day. Intense little world here. Around for what we'll now be scouting for is sand, or possibly oxide. We've got these loop structures too, stalactites. The geology is always interesting. And even when it's something you've seen before, you remember other places. So we're looking for, wow, these long channels and deep, deep, deep watery ravines. Alright, we're looking for a landing pad. We're very low on plutonium, so we're not going to land until we've found one. Because every time we take off, it's going to cost us if we don't. It almost looks like pumice. So in a way, this could be considered, you know, this. If I were speculating based on what I'm seeing, this would seem to me like a volcanic planet. I really haven't seen one that looks as much like pumice as this one does. Tall cliffs. This might be promising. Still haven't gotten a feel yet for the Korvax structures. This is a weird one. It's tall, really on a small chunk of real estate. Not gonna be able to land there. Till we're on the surface, we won't know how toxic the atmosphere is. And if we're not on a landing pad, we may only have a few seconds to get to shelter. So better to be on one. It takes a few minutes. Well, this would definitely be a difficult world to explore in terms of landings. My hunch would be this is going to be a mining world if the atmosphere is not out to kill us. Ironically. It's interesting that that didn't go off until the first time I used my scanner. I'm sure that's not an accident. But I hadn't noticed it before. Nope, take a landing pad, guys. Well, you know, the good news is, with a landscape like this, I would be surprised if there were a lot of animals about. And I only say that's good news because I've had a bad run with predators. Oh no, is this snow down here? Look at that. That's interesting. I wonder if this is cold. Could also just be sand. I think to find a landing pad, I'm going to need a landmass large enough. So let's try to do that. Man, this rock is amazing. I really wonder if up close it says pocked as it appears at a distance. I love these little rivulets. This is something I love about Kainadren. Tidal pools. Little islands poking up. Pink skies in the daytime. Probably green at night. I looked up a little bit briefly on the actual effect that chemical composition has on nebula color, and it looked like there was something there. I didn't have time to read deeply on it, but I hope to read further. Again, the skies were orange in the Gek system that we explored originally, and the Gek are fond of oxides. The skies are green here, the nebula is green, and this is a Korvax controlled system. And I believe the Korvax are interested in silicates, which would mean the Vy'keen are interested in isotopes. If that logic follows. It's not confirmed. Look at these. It just feels like these caves would be dangerous, labyrinthine. And when I think about pumice and the spongy shape of it, think about caves and that, my guess would be that they would split and run and go over and under each other. We'll see if that really holds. It might not, but okay. Hopeful, yes, I do believe. Landing pad, great. Alright, let's see what we have to see. Come on now, here we go, and nope, we missed it. Very bad news. We will go ahead and take a screen cap of this. It's something I'm forgetting to do, but I'm trying to do more often when I get to a site to begin with. Alright, it is hot. We're going to have to get back in the ship because we want to be on the landing pad. You know, let's not do it because it's going to cost us to take off and to land again. Alright, fine. I'm going to go run for it. Do not stick that landing. Let's look around. Should be near to the pole. Let's take a look at our description again. Rumazuka. Warm. Certainly looks that way. Typical sentinels. Rich flora, no fauna present, supposedly. I have my doubts. Alright. Typical sentinels. I wonder, it almost is feeling like sentinels are system-wide. So, for instance, I believe Ikibi had typical sentinels too. Yep, sure did. Although Ikibi claims, it can't be right. There we go, sweltering, typical, full, occasional. I was at one point writing down the world descriptors as well. Um, I'll probably just do that later. Yes. Let me do one thing though. Pull this log out. There we go. Or Orivosa. That was the world that Orivosa Xolvit. That was the world with quite a few animals. A number of them turned out to be predators. Had very varied terrain, much like this one with these tall canyons. Okay, sweltering. So that heat is going to be a factor. It's low variety, much like this. It claims, I wonder if this whole system is like that. I mean, there's obviously water. Warm, typical. Warm shouldn't be too bad. Warm should be at least less intensive than sweltering, if the words mean anything. Flora rich, fauna not present. We'll see about that, really. I have. Then again, we look over here, records. Huh. It does not. So sure enough, when you go to the sort of title card, you have slots for the number of animals there. And the slots are there even if they're not labeled, so you can generally tell just how many there are. And for instance, on Orivosia Xolvit, there were many slots for many animal types. Here, to its word, at least so far, no slots whatsoever for animals. So this would put this world in the Ming or the Zub category. And not the Ikibi category, if Ikibi has animals, a few of whom are predators, and not Xolvit either. If that is true, and there are not many animals, this is either a mining world or Zub. It's not hot enough that I'm going to worry about it just yet. Okay, first things first. If we're going to believe that, let's go ahead and mark our location. And again, many of these other types of stations we're not going to worry about because we really don't, at this point, want or need to scout. We don't need, by flying overhead, we should be able to see the density of ruins and this kind of thing. Go ahead and grab these because we know we can at least sell them here. So far, no animals. That is interesting. I do like the Corvex architecture. The Gek architecture is very, what would I call it? Almost very, I was going to say workaday. It's not exactly the phrase I'm looking for. Very, not pragmatic. I'll think about it a little bit. But there's an elegance to the Corvax architecture. These are like research stations, seems to me would be. Whereas the Gek architecture is just sort of the barest bones architecture. Alright. Happy to see me. I will need to try and hit some... this is probably a good place to pick up language in terms of a world, because I shouldn't have to worry about being ambushed by animals. Interesting. So we'll see how the minerals are. This could well be a mining world. It's not, Zub, don't know. Mining or Zub? We'll see. I'm not going to think too much about it yet. Here we have physicist entity ik. I am writing down the types of entities we've got so far. So I will write down physicist. One thing here. I am trying to actually keep logs, for better or worse. Physicists. Keeping my own traveler's logs. We're not really going to talk with these guys much until we have a few knowledge stones, because it just won't do us any good. Let's see what the exchange rate is like. Gosh, it's almost like it keeps getting worse and worse. I'm holding on to these. I'm sorry. I'll sell one, but I just... Alright, now, please sell us some iron and some plutonium. I can't remember if we needed platinum for something. Take a quick look. Think we did, because this is set and we needed it to build that, but this is actually going to probably hold us for a while. I haven't been extremely moved by most of the ships I've seen in this system so far. I have seen one that seems I have a type and I have seen one that reminds me a little bit of the grasshopper. Try to hold to plutonium and iron in my very limited inventory. Move stuff over when I can. I guess I will keep buying zinc and carbon until I have one of each of those. I may as well buy some platinum. You know, tell you what. There are just a few staples that tend to come in handy. I haven't used much titanium. Now most of my characters have been relatively early, but I don't even mine for titanium often. Okay, let's see how things are. All right, we'll have some heat. If we're lucky, the heat situation will be a bit like it was on Long Shadows as the sun goes down. Assuming we're close to the pole, the days and the nights should both be short. On Ikibi, nights cooled things off and the temperature warning went off, and that was really handy. Here, notice we have plutonium near the edges of camps. That is what I expect to find. That's a good sign. That's typical, essentially. Alright, that's a good sign. Large deposits of iron. Wind picking up at dusk here as the sun goes down. Wow, really is blowing over the... Oh. I shouldn't have to worry about animals, although of course now I can hear some. Yep, level stabilizing. Beautiful. Sun goes down, and actually it looks like I'm just in shadow. I wonder... A place like this, even if it's barren, can be very doable, very useful. Let's take another look. Records, no animals. Okay. Well, that's a really good sign. That's a really good sign. Aha, we have a language stone. Let's these are, I'm forgetting my scanning. Wind really picks up. Those are neat. Look at that. Wow. That is amazing. The liquid, so much like the deposits in the stone on the kiwi, these roots surround these kind of gel sacks. Yep, I love it all over again. Every time I hit a new world, I love doing this analysis. And I love how things are similar yet different. Wow, the wind really does pick up. Stark landscape. Let's give one of these a try. That is a large... Definitely good for it. Good for the carbon. Not getting this one. Must be too far away. I don't want to stray too far, but since it's night and the temperature shouldn't be a problem. Aha! Alright. Language. Oh, now, ironically, it's going to happen because I've left this flute free. Someone's probably going to land there. That's okay. That's fine. Really good to see some other signs of life. Let's get ready for some Korvax words. Convergence. I want to see what the cave situation is here without falling into one. I do hope in a future update they give you some control over the field of view, because it does feel tight to me as well. Again, not a sense that there are a huge number of caverns. This thing has got to register. There we go. Let's take a moment. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. This is nice. A world like this can really, even if it's not as interesting to explore because of the lack of animals, honestly, it's that same lack of animals and lack of predators that can really make it a boon. Ah, and there's our green sky at night. Let's try to find a cave. Life support keeps going down. You know what? I haven't saved. Did I save? Please? Let's get back over there and make sure. I feel like I did, but at the same time, I don't remember any crates. Funny little knob. Sometimes even the smallest chunks of iron will take a while to hit. Just a dense material. Oh wow, look at this. I love seeing the new formations. Oh, did I get it? Yeah. But I'm liking the amount of plutonium I'm seeing. Long shadows. Hazy formations with this green material. Of course, the light is green, so it's hard to say, but we'll grab platinum now and then. You can see why this would be an interesting place for research. These little stands of these plants. Oh, that's a little odd. Very extreme rock formations, probably shaped by the strong winds. You know, I mean, even if the generative system popped them up that way, I always try to think what in reality could be causing what I'm seeing. It just adds to me, to the story available. Alright, and here's what I was talking about. Look at this shape here. Get around the other side where we can get some light on it. Just sharp, sharp, sharp. These nodules encased in the rock matrix. You know, I wonder if that'll... Yes! Wow. Incredible. Beautiful. Pretty much every time you see something unique, you can generally bet that it will register, and I think that's wonderful. Yeah, this is great. Iron and plutonium, plenty of it. So far, the Sentinels have been relatively kind. Still not seeing a ton of caves. Alright, we're going to head back to the station. We do need to start picking up some blueprints. So we'll head into these even though we're not going to use... you know what? Grab crates while I'm at it. I believe there was one over here, or some over here. I may not use this signal scanner. I don't know. If I find... Generally the only things I use a signal scanner for are to map and plant anchors for... Wait, no, I'm being I do it. I was looking for crates. Funny, I get there and it's just instinct. And I used up... Stupid. I used up a bypass chip doing that. Alright, lesson learned. Let's go in here, check the blueprints. I pretty much only use signal scanners to map important sites, and to me that comes down to just a couple of types. A portal monolith or a trading post at this stage. Let's see what this guy is calling himself. Technician. I'm not going to talk to him because I don't know the language yet. I mean, I know one more word. Convergence. Rare warning. Korvax convergence. Interesting. Alright. Let's learn another word. Toxic. What I'm needing will be exosuit designs, and honestly I think I'm going to have to learn more of the language to get those, because I'm going to need to talk to these guys for that. Now, here's... let's back up and talk about the lore. And by that I mean this whole idea that you accept everything you see in the game at face value and you think about how that could be true. The architecture of GEC facilities, GEC stations, that's neat, a flag hanging down, and Korvax stations are obviously different, but at the same time, this terminal which is the terminal for an observatory, which is, we must be at one, an observatory finder, are, or terminal really, observatory terminal, are the same in design. This implies that they come from the same technology, design, vocabulary or pattern language. And what we do is we accept that and we think how that could be the case. Is it Atlassian design? It doesn't, the Atlas, I think of Atlas designs as tied to there really is plenty of plutonium. And now the heat is back, even though the sun is not yet up. That's interesting. I guess it's probably about to come up. Or maybe at a certain stage of the night it just gets hot anyway. But yeah, to me, I choose to interpret the fact that some things are the same from place to place, and there are game reasons for that because you have to be able to find your way around. But I always try to think, what could the story-related reasons be? Some of these materials, perhaps the materials related to our design, to the travelers, which is what I'm calling us, our character, come from the same design lineage. And so we are not Korvax, perhaps. We are not, certainly not, Gek, or, I don't think. We are something else. And all of this equipment laying around, all this equipment laying around, these things that are essentially here for our benefit, these travelers' tools, they come from similar design lineage as well. Oops, what am I doing? Why is it not working? I notice these terminals around here don't do anything. It'd be nice if they did, and I hope they do. They will someday.
Temperature levels stabilizing. Units received.
Yep. I need more words before I get suit upgrades, and honestly, I might. Probably what I'll do is I'll sell based on what I've got here. Try again at the exchange rate, or actually if I can hit a ship. That's, I guess, the one reason not to land on a landing pad. Oh god, what? That's impossible. Oh, it's because my ship is far away. I think, right? Or I'm far from my ship because I have plutonium right there. Grab a little more. I need another slot for my suit. In there, in there. My ship's over there. It does seem like the sun is perhaps coming up. Let's try and grab one more chunk of plutonium. That can't be plutonium. I believe that's probably titanium. No. Titanium, yep. Alright. If all the landscapes like this, it should be relatively doable. It just is going to be a lot of, you know what else I need to do? I need to check the water. I need to check whether or not the water is out to kill us. Alright. Probably means either heading downhill or landing near some. Let's try. Let's see if I can head downhill. If I can see some relatively close, I'll go for it. If not, I will try to land later. And what I'll probably do is clip this Let's Play. Because from here, it's looking like a world where I could do some language scouting, some resource gathering, grow my capacity, explore some Korvax monoliths without worrying. That essentially I've got an angle on what this world is like. And it is not ideal, but it is doable. Still haven't seen a cave. It'd be nice to find a cave before the end of this. Oh, here's another language stone. Let's go ahead and grab that. I don't know how far from water I am. I don't want to get too far from my ship. Unless I'm near a cave. Cave is the next order of business. just so far are not me.
Thermal protection falling.
No, do not want to make a mistake here. Okay, here's a very tiny amount of water. Now, this should at least be able to tell me, nope, this is not water, it's just indentation. Maybe just picking up. So being in the shadow is not enough. Risk it. What? Wait a minute. That's not... I need to watch my temperature. I need to wait till day to do this. Alright, I'm gonna go back and sell. First of all, keep this from going offline. And I apparently don't... Oh, coming too far from my ship. Alright, that's unfortunate. Alright. Let's get back there. Wait for temperature to stabilize. I would like to get an exploration of water here on film. This may not work with me. And I'd like to get a cave on film, but again, I may not always be able to get what I want. It does look like it's putting a strain on my life support. Oh, 5.5 toxicity and 1.9 radiation. Alright, so this planet, it is looking like, is probably, should be classified as Zub. It is subpar, and there are multiple drains on my health. Doesn't mean it's unworkable, especially as my armor gets better. I want to get to this guy so I can trade. But it is not strictly mining because it's not easy enough on me. So with that in mind, analyst. You know what? This system almost seems like it's expensive. You know, like it's kind of stacked against me. What I basically do is stock up until I have a good single stack in my ship of the major staples and then not worry about it. May as well. Until I've got my stack. Ah, alright. Quick.
Thermal protection falling.
Yep. Alright, let's try this. Let's see
Constructed.
what they think of 500 chips.
Constructed. Constructed. Constructed.
There we go, 1.6%, not great. So on. So far, I have not found this, you know, for all the benefits of being in this system, in terms of lore and exploration,
Temperature levels stabilizing.
the exchange rates are stacked against me. Physicist, do a little carbon snooping. Oh, that's ridiculous. Yeah. I mean, I see the appeal for those who like that sort of thing, but not my style. Let's take a closer look so you know what I mean. Gleam of Kokurbina. Alright. See what the galactic exchange rate is like for my bypass chips. Not good at all. Funny. Alright. Well, this is going to be a tricky system. Hard system for commerce, it seems. It's just the way it goes. It's worth it for the lore. Worth it for the lore. Worth it for the lore. That's interesting. He has kind of a spinal attachment. Unless temperature stabilizes, I'm going to give one more try at getting its daytime. Right? Yep. Coming down. So this is, I can tell you right now, this planet's going to be named something Zub. Probably. Kind of neat stuff. I love. Look at the composite structure of the rocks. How you've got this pink material with the stone, you know, sort of part of it. Very, very cool. Probably this world will end up being named Rumazuka Zub. We'll see what happens. I was going to say I was going to try to get to a cave in the water. You know what? I need to try, because I was also going to, in the video, take stock of... we don't have to worry about animals, so I think it's worth doing. I'm really not worried about wayfinding at this point unless I find something worth saving. So what we're going to do is take to the sky until nightfall, which should be coming relatively soon, and land near water. Oh, well, there's some right there, which is always funny when that happens. Come on now. Alright, let's take a look around. I also, you know, I want shelter. A cave and water. That's what I want. These cliffs are something. Now, see, now, there you go. This is probably good. I don't know how deep they go, but it looks like possibly deep enough. Let's turn one more time to see. That way I wouldn't have to go far, and this is a world where, you know, when there's a lot of terrain like this, a lot of variety, you can find a lot without going far. Oh, look at that. It's almost like those are crystals as well, but not any. I mean, they may be plants. This is a good spot, because I can come over to this island and check, assuming the water isn't made of acid and doesn't kill me instantly. I always say that, but it could happen. So these caves look like they will at least be deep enough for me to get a sense. So let's land. Stick my landing. Yes. Nice. Okay, we've got sand. First things first, let's go ahead and stabilize, hopefully. Find ourselves surprised to see that in here is where, and gold is the main mineral here, or main neutral here. So the green stones will be gold on this planet. Should not be any animals. There you go. Beautiful. Nice. Okay, and so from here I can see what the weather's like outside. That's odd. Those aren't doing anything. Ah, see, look, you can see this cratery structure. Are these really not conductive? No, they are. Let's check. Still daylight. Can go a little deeper. Sharp. It almost, you know, this is almost like obsidian. Wow. Nice single file tunnel, so that I won't necessarily have to get lost. Aha, and out the other side. Sun is still up, and it comes right back at you. This is not bad though. It's not, you know, the original world I named Zub was sterile. This is not like that. You know, it's not so bad. See water right down there, but I'm going to go back to where I was. Shoot. Let's just stay out of their way. Sure, he's going to come check me out. But the drain that it's having on my life support is reminds me of Gexzub, or Gekex. Whoops, it's not actually what I wanted to do. 13% toxicity? That's crazy. Huh, I wonder. Yeah, this is alright. How about the water? Wow, man. Well, we can make a run for it. The day is surprisingly long for being so close to the pole. Ah, language stone. Knowledge stone, rather. Traveler. That is what I believe we are. Our character. Okay. Moment of truth. Dip our toes. And, oh, that's funny. Underwater, now, unless the sun has just gone down. Nope. Temperature probably... Is it the water? Yeah, because look at that. Huh. So, the good news was... yep, underwater. Interesting. Oh my. Come on now. Why are you freaking out? Kind of a brain coral. Beautiful. Okay. What I meant to demonstrate was before I drown. So, you can go into a cave or you can go into the water. That's good news, given that the water is everywhere. Let's look at our toxicity.
Temperature levels stabilizing.
Toxicity skyrockets. Okay, that is bad. So while we can do this and have, you know, some of the same benefits of yeah, some of the benefits of cover, that toxicity is crazy. Like, just looking at some of the toxicity ranges, you know, you just wonder what the heck is going on here. But clearly enough, you know, we're getting enough of a hit on our systems that this world is a tricky one. Alright, let's do a scan for worlds. Probably easier to do at night. I had promised myself I would always try to do this on video so that I could check it again later. There we go. That's really the only one I can see. Can't see what it is. There's another one. Alright. We're going to get up in the sky to check those out. So there's 3 visible. You know what? We're going to go for it. We don't need to mess around here much. We can name it. We can continue surveying. It's not that this world is, you know, this world has its merits, namely an absence of predators. You know what I did not see is how many, is whether or not monoliths were common. We're going to take another quick zip around, staying in the craft, just to see what the typical monolith types are and how common they are, how widespread, see if we can spot a few. First, we're going to get a fix on our local neighborhood. There we go. And this would be... still not letting us know. Really tight asteroid formation in the system. Come on. It almost feels like there's a push, like a pushing effect. It's keeping me... there. Okay. So this is Sakengyar. To trace the travel lanes. Gosh, wow, really tight quarters. Kibi, and our beacon is on Zolifanovinga. Now, that world from this height looks, you know, nice as well. But, you know, we know things are not always what they seem. And then behind it, Lovosiliu Tezurno, at the moment that's called. So I've got a good sense of the planets here for surveying purposes. And down here, we of course have our friend Rumazu Zub, probably. Let's go back down, check actually, Damien's fine. I just want to see the density of, monoliths. And we'll head back out. Very, very interesting world. I mean, monoliths as well as stations kind of need places to be, and this world is real estate is at a premium. Let's turn away from the sun so that we can see a little more clearly, or this way maybe. I just like to be heading towards a planet, even if I don't know exactly which one it is. Of course, we know that one. So that one probably is a kibi. Okay, we're just looking for monoliths. We just want to try and spot one or two, and we'll be done surveying here. Have a sense of what this world can and can't offer. Wow. Those red caves going deep into the rock. Huh. It seems like these caves may present themselves in loops. Which would be in line with the structure up above here. Alright, just head in a straight line. Monoliths. So far I'm not, overwhelmed by a massive number of monoliths, obviously. I can't even remember if I've spotted any. Now, of course, we could use our signal scanner. Probably that's what we should do. That's what we should do. Yep, because it's going to take too long. So let's do it. We'll avail ourselves of a signal scanner. Visit one monolith site. See what we find along the way. Call it good. I think there was... Well, I thought there was a station right over here, but I missed it. Pod it is. If I find a signal scanner around here, I'll land. I do need another slot. It's fun, in the daytime you can really see the red oxide in the stone structure as well as the plant life. One thing I love about No Man's Sky is the way those things make sense together, kind of add up together. Tough world. There we go. Signal scanner, all right. Hopefully the temperature should be, yep, 9% toxicity. Wow. Whew. Rough times. Take a quick look down here. Sandy oxide. Here they were. These spires here seemed like they were, I think it's, yep. I always wanted to see whether things like these little guys were... Ha 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 ha! That is great. love that. I love it. In fact, probably these two. Nope. Close. Alright. Check my, man, 7.8% toxicity. Okay. Oh, we got one. Alright, we're looking for a monolith. We will go right for it. Not monolith transmissions. And this could bring us anything from a proper monolith to a ruin to a plaque. But it will give us a sense. A plaque, okay. Well, on the way there, we may or may not see something, and that'll be our test. I will grab some plutonium, since it's straightforward to find here, and the temperature's not out to get us. So it actually gives me a little time. I thought I saw some close by over there. Not super close. There we go. That's what I'm looking for. Let's try to grab that thing, that sort of thing when I see it. This rock almost looks like it's glowing, but it's from the... I guess it's translucent. Very interesting. Love to get that stamina upgrade. Alright, we're good for plutonium. So if we had to, we could come back down here. Oh, the heat is coming back. Unbelievable, man. Unbelievable. If we had to, we could come... Ah! Look at this! Alright, let's actually... Well... Ugh. We've got two of them now. We've got... this plaque, 48 seconds, look at that. It's, luminescent. Now, I may have done myself in, because if I lost it, I can go back here anyway. And down in a, there it is. Wow, that is easy to miss. I wish there was a pod right here, but you know what? There is plutonium right there. That is nearly as good, so I am going to go for it. Something is starting to kind of tell me that this system might be a rough one. I mean, you know, there was another world we saw from orbit that looked pretty darn rough as well. And that's like, you know, this is a bit like what I figured that would be. Really need a slot. Probability. Okay. Stay on target. When you can find it, definitely wonderful density of plutonium. That's worth remembering. Beautiful. Seen one quite like this yet. This will be my first Korvax monolith. I'll grab the plaque as well. And then we'll head out. I'm actually going to take a picture of this. Bear with me. Save. Alright, we're back.
Thermal protection falling.
Please. Probability high. That's interesting. Time. Okay. I believe this is it. Come on. All three? Yes. First one. Something, calm, something. Oh yes, that's right, because I'm slowly learning my words. What's funny is calm, oh there it is, calm. I feel faint as if my mind is being invaded. Pustules on my skin grow, bubble, and pop, and I feel countless tiny stabbing pinpricks, scrabbling from each gaping hole. Suddenly, metal spiders, perhaps tiny sentinels, run up my shoulder and into my visor. Can this be real? This cannot be real. I start to scream. Calm, something. Remove helmet and scrape away. Fire weapon, wait it out. Calm tells me to wait it out. I'm going to do that. So it really does seem like each of the, you know what? I should have saved this spot. These I'm going to save. All right. I'll take a screenshot here, so bear with me. Back, okay. Each of these monoliths seems to kind of convey the worldview of the culture that they're for. Now, what words will we get? Atlas word for awake. You know, I just realized I may have an issue because I'm opening multiple instances. Basically, I've written down my Atlas word, but it may actually contradict. Like, I may have already learned it. Since they go in order, I'm going to have to compare it to my prior. And if so, then it may only make sense to grab Atlas words from my main character. I'm kind of dread. Alright, we're going to visit that plaque as well. Head to orbit and then stop.
Thermal protection falling.
Someday, Atlas Pass.
Free slots in safe inventory.
Where's the ship? Why am I not? There we go. Okay. Damien.
Technology recharge.
And hazard protection. So it ate up that shielding shard. Didn't it? No, what? That's weird. Oh, okay, it's charged. That's weird. I could have sworn that was down a moment ago. But again, maybe it's self-charging. If so, I kind of wish all this stuff was, except I guess it's good that it lets you choose. Okay. No. Wow. First one of these I've gotten. Wow, where did I'm not even sure where I got it. I got it from the monolith. This was the first thing I saw that made me think perhaps our character, was a Korvax. The metallic shell of a disconnected electronic life form that was too distant from its kind to be refreshed with a new entity, highly prized by all species, not the least its own. The way we wake up in the world, the way we die and reactivate our character, the traveler, it seems, maybe our exosuit is of Korvax technology. And that's an interesting thing to think about. It's beautiful. Alright, I tell you what. I'm actually going to cut off this Let's Play here. We've scouted this world well. We know what the deal is here. I'm going to go check out that plaque, but I'm going to be taking screen captures of the storyline, even though it is the first. It should be the first in the Korvax storyline that I will have encountered. So, all right, we'll go to it. One last stop, and if I see a drop pod on the way, I'm going to check that out as well to be sure. I saw it over here, but of course if I backtrack, no better way of assuring you don't find it. I'll backtrack just a little. There's a pod. I'm going for it. It's on a bit of a tricky spot. Let's do it this way. Let's land up here. Despite the other difficulties, the place to explore for lore are when you can find worlds without predators running around, so you don't basically have to make every time you hit the ground like a helicopter drop. Over here, I believe. Oh, yes, wow. Quite a climb. And can I get up there? Wow. Okay, thank you. Boy, this seems like a bit of a noxious pool. Jastel Pool, undiscovered. There it is. Exactly what it is. Here's Jastel Pool. It's crazy. I can almost smell the sulfur. Unfortunately, I don't see a flag, and it's not going to worry about it. I'll worry about getting in here. Yep.
Temperature levels stabilizing.
Nice that temperature is controlled in here. You bet. Alright. place I could see that beacon being would be up here. It's probably not exactly important to hit it. Few things, I'll get them when I get in my ship. Oh jeez, that was a little close. Where's my ship? Nice. Didn't exactly work out. Wait a minute. Alright. Wow. Amazing structures here. See, Korvax, being artificial entities, I can see them sort of signing up for, oh, look at these little, this kind of sandy delta. Hold on. You know, I can see them taking on these kinds of tasks, these kinds of sites and locations. That actually makes some sense. Oh no, it's under, oh my gosh, I see where it is. Alright, it's one of these, okay. You know, the Gek are living creatures and, you know, they're toiling away in these remote locations. It's something that, you know, we've kind of talked about a little bit. There's no, you know what? Tell you what, I am leaving this. If I come back, I can always come back to this spot as a starting point. I'm not going to mess with that for now. Alright. We are going to take off. But rather than mess with it on video, this is interesting. I've never seen a black stone like that. I wonder what element it is. I'll find out some other day. Oh, and there's another monolith. Okay, well, good to know. Alright, tell you what. I'm going to let this go for now. So, for the time being, thanks for playing.